had on my original website, I had maybe one or two testimonial videos, but with your suggestion, we've got dozens and dozens on there now, and that just shows credibility of all the great things that we've done. Not to boast my toot my own horn and all that, but we are the #1 college planner in Arizona, if not the West Coast. So, and that's all due through the search engine optimization, the ad roll, and the video proof. All of those things are instrumental in helping our growth double and even triple. This last month, we've had the most incredible month that we've had, and that was August. And now September 2024, we're on track to doing the same revenue that we did last month, but probably even more than August. And that just trend seems to continue.
Well, folks, on today's show, we're interviewing somebody who provides a solution that I believe most of the people watching this show, you'll probably need at some point. This guy helps kids to earn more scholarship money. And he also happens to be a longtime client. JD, welcome on to the Thrivetime show. How are you, sir?
I am doing fantastic, Mr. Clay. How are you?
Brother, I'm excited to have you on the show, and so I've got a plethora of questions for you. First off, how do we properly pronounce your last name?
Wyzolek, JD Wyzolek.
How do you spell that for people out there? We got a lot of academics watching this show. They're right now going, I don't know how to spell that.
Every other letter is silent. So it's W-Y, C as in cat, Z as in zebra, A-L-E-K, Wyzolek. Sounds just like it's spelled.
Now, how did you originally hear about us there, sir?
I went to one of your awakening tours in Phoenix, Arizona. And I'm like, kind of like, and what intrigued me was General Flynn and Eric Trump and some of the other guest speakers that you had there. And then like any stalker, I just started looking you up and found out you do all this other stuff on the side.
You know,
what's
interesting is that, whenever we do podcasts and broadcasts, I put these podcasts and broadcasts out to kind of like messages in a bottle to help people. And I never know who we're going to help. And on part 2 of today's show, we have a listener that claims he's listened to our show for 9 years before he reached out and asked for help. Now, we've helped him triple the size of his business in 12 months, but he had been listening for 9 years. And so I was just curious, what was kind of your tipping point where you thought, you know what, I'm going to go to thrivetimeshow.com and schedule a free consultation?
Well, I've been working with, I started the business in August of 2007. And when I launched the business, I had several coaches that helped me out with that. And eventually I just kind of grew out of their need. And probably in the last 2 or 3 years, I started figuring out, you know what, I probably need to get some additional coaching from some other different angle. And that's how I kind of stumbled on you. I did some research on what you did and attended one of your business conferences and decided, you know what, this is the right move. And I started, probably about a year or so ago.
Now, from a growth perspective, one of the things that I've been tracking on your particular, I call it a file or account or project or your business, is you guys have at azcollegeplanning.com, azcollegeplanning.com. You have a lot of value that you offer that was kind of hidden a little bit. It's like a lot of value, and it makes a lot of sense to hire you if people get it.
Right.
But if they don't get it, it makes 0 sense to hire you. So could you talk about some of the things that we've been able to work with you on to get that value more top of mind for your potential ideal and likely buyers?
Yeah, well, if you're interested in learning how to not go broke paying for college, then go to azcollegeplanning.com and fill out one of the contact forms, and I'll reach out to you and schedule a consultation and see how we can help you. And what I figured out, and I'm getting back to you in a roundabout way. what I figured out is that if there's an upward trend in any category that's ranked in the ranking system is extremely important to colleges. And you've probably seen a dozen different publications. This college is ranked #1 in this category. This college is ranked number 12 in this category, etc. If there's any category that has an upward trend in the ranking system, that attracts attention, and more attention means more application and more application fees. So one of the things that we do is we show students and parents how to properly market themselves to the colleges so that college says, yes, we need you, we want you. And that's kind of what you're doing in a business sense, is showing businesses how to properly market themselves to gain clients and customers. And one of the areas that really helped is had always been using scripts. And with you and your team, we've recrafted the scripts to be even more powerful. And from that, we also did some optimization on the website. And now I'm getting at least 3 or 4 leads every week, which is great because, yeah, it's just great.
Now, I'm pulling this up because I want people to look at your website. You know, one of the things about a website, if you own a business, I want you to think about this. It has a purpose. Like, what's the function of it? You know, so let's do an example. Let me throw an extreme example, teaching moment for somebody out there. Paul Graham. Okay. Paul Graham is a person that nobody really knows about hardly, but he's one of the most successful people on the planet. You say, who? Paul Graham. Somebody out there right now, you're watching this, you're going, who is that? This is the guy credited to being one of the founders of the online shopping cart. Okay, so it was his idea via web, which was sold to Yahoo store and became the first online shopping platform. It is he who started Airbnb, Dropbox, Reddit. He's now credited, this is Paul Graham. So it says, who's this guy? Paul Graham, with having the most number of successful startups known to man, 1,300 of them, including Stripe. What? Yes. I mean, this guy, including Reddit, including the who? Paul Graham. You say, well, what's his website?
List.
Look at this website. This is his website. People say, why won't he update his website? Who built that website? What's wrong with this guy? Who built this website? And he's explained this during multiple interviews that his website does not exist for me or for anybody out there that thinks he should update it. It exists for Paul Graham. And Paul Graham made his website so he could write his essays. So you go to his website, everything he knows, he writes it out in an essay form, and he puts it on the internet, and he sees no need in updating it. This is the same guy, folks, who's behind Airbnb. Look at Airbnb. Looks like a beautiful website, state-of-the-art website, Airbnb. Wow, an incredible website. Look at Airbnb. Dropbox. Someone says Dropbox. Look at Dropbox. Look at Airbnb. These are sites. Sorry, it's loading slow here, folks. Dropbox, Reddit. These are big companies, huge companies, and these companies have beautiful sites. I'm not sure why this is loading slow here, but he doesn't feel the need to update his own website. And someone says, well, why not? Because he understands the function of his website. And the function of his website is so that he can write essays for his own personal use. And I just want to get your thoughts on this for a second. Your website exists to generate leads. Somebody out there who's trying to pay for their kids' college without going broke, that's what you do. And so we wanted to pack your website with value so that more and more people would reach out to you, not just visit the site, but that people would actually fill out the form. And I think I heard you say you're having, between 2 and 4 leads a week now from Google. Can you talk about some of the things that we've helped you to do that have helped to increase the lead volume on your website?
Besides the search optimization, you and your team rebuilt the entire website. I think my original website looked a little bit like Paul Graham's. Yeah, it was dated from 2007. So thank you for doing that. And the graphics just all pop and all that stuff. The search optimization is really one of the big tickets there. And then also ad roll. Ad roll was huge by adding that in there. I didn't have that in my previous website. So I'm getting a lot more clickbacks because of ad roll.
Now, AdRoll is a tool that follows people around on the internet. So if you're watching this show and you have a kid, you want your kid to go to college, you go to the website azcollegeplanning.com, and then AdRoll, the ads keep following people around. So when they go to different websites, they keep seeing advertisements from your business. That's a powerful tool. Also on your website, we wanted to make sure we gathered objective reviews from real customers. You have real customers that like you. We wanted to gather those objective reviews, put those front and
Yes.
center. Also, you offer a free consultation and a free workshop, which is powerful for people that are thinking about hiring you. Very few people in your space offer a free consultation or a free workshop, and you do. And making those buttons prominent there, the red buttons on the site. Talk to us about that. When people reach out to you now, how often is it just is somebody reaching out to you because they're wanting the free consultation or because they want the free workshop? I mean, how often is that the no-brainer that pulls people in?
That's 95% of the time. And anyone who is reaching out to me who is a prospect, they're either asking for information about the free workshops that I host, and those free workshops are typically held at least once a month. They're also asking about the free consultation. And in the free consultation, we talk about their specific needs and come up with a plan on how to save them tens of thousands of dollars off the cost of college. If we look at in-state costs, we're looking at about $35,000 a year. If we're looking at private colleges, we're looking at like $90,000 a year. And what my goal is to help these students get into some really great colleges and get some amazing scholarship packages at colleges that they want to attend, and make it less expensive for them to go to an out-of-state private college than it would be for them to go to an in-state college. And that's all done through azcollegeplanning.com.
You know, one thing again that we helped you do that I'm going to pull, I've got some notes here of some stuff, is you had so many success stories. There's so many people that you have worked with over the years to help them. And, you know, when I remember doing our 13-point assessment with you, I could immediately visualize the success we were going to have because you weren't a charlatan and you actually offer people real results. And so I was thinking to myself, we've got to get these testimonials and these success stories documented on the website. We've got to create success posters and video testimonials, and we have to gather real proof from real clients about the real results that you really did generate. And I say the word real a lot because there's in a world of shamockery and a world of bogusness and a world of jackassery, there's a lot of people that have bogus offers, bogus claims, bogus solutions, just bogusness. But you have so many success stories. Can you talk to us about how adding those success stories to the site has helped you to increase your growth and amount of success that you've been able to have as a business?
Those are all real videos. And it was very simple to ask, can you make a 1-minute video on how we helped you? And 100% of them all said, yes, I would love to do that. And 100% of them have all sent me referrals. So we're doing some really great things for those families, and we want to do some really great things for your families as well. That was all done through your suggestion. I had on my original website, I had maybe 1 or 2 testimonial videos, but with your suggestion, we've got dozens and dozens on there now, and that just shows credibility of all the great things that we've done. Not to boast toot my own horn and all that, but we are the #1 college planner in Arizona, if not the West Coast. So, and that's all due through the search engine optimization, the ad roll, and the video proof. All of those things are instrumental in helping our growth double and even triple. This last month, we've had the most incredible month that we've had, and that was August. And now September 2024, we're on track to doing the same revenue that we did last month, but probably even more than August. And that just trend seems to continue.
So if you had to describe in kind of 2 sentences or less the impact that having somebody coach you down a proven path has made on your business, how would you maybe describe that?
I would describe that as freedom and income.
So what do you say to somebody who's, I offer free consultations as well as you. So what do you say to somebody who's, they're going to thrivetimeshow.com and they're going, wow, do I schedule a free consultation? Because most people, they go to the testimonials button and they look at thousands of testimonials, which I've gathered methodically since 2005. So they look at it and they go, wow, you guys have so many success stories. Okay. But what would you say to somebody who's on the fence about scheduling a free 13-point consultation with myself?
That's where I started. I scheduled that 13-point consultation because I wanted to know more. And if you want to know more, the only way to know more is by scheduling that consultation. And as I learn more about you from that consultation, as I learn more about you by checking out all the different things that you've done online and watching some of the other video testimonials that you have on your website, I'm like, yeah, this is a positive move. And from there, decided to jump on board, and it's been a great thing.
So let's talk about your business for a second. Final question I have here for you. People out there, busy listeners, I don't want to waste anybody's time, and I don't want to waste your time. So for somebody who goes to azcollegeplanning.com, kind of explain to us how your business model works and how you make money. When people go to azcollegeplanning.com, how do you make money? How does the customer win? Just kind of explain to us the win-win so people can at least conceptually understand what you do for people.
So in the free consultation, and please go to the website, azcollegeplanning.com, click on the contact form there, and I will reach out to you to schedule that free consultation. In that free consultation, I'm going to ask you and your students some questions. And then from there, we're going to come up with a game plan. And when I do talk with you about the free consultation, I will be very, very frank with you and say, yes, I can help you, or no, I can't help you. If I cannot help you, I'll point you in the right direction and say, this is what you need to do. Go and do these things. If I say, yes, I can help you, I already know that if your student follows my proven plan and proven path, I've got a roadmap. Follow this roadmap. And if your student does that, your student is going to receive at least $35,000 in scholarships. And it could be as much as $280,000 in scholarships.
Wow. And again, folks, that's azcollegeplanning.com, azcollegeplanning.com. JD, I really appreciate you joining us, sharing with us about your business, clarifying how to pronounce and spell your name. Thank you so much, sir, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Clay.
Bye-bye. JT, do you know what time it is?
4:10.
It's Tebow time in Tulsa, Jerusalem, baby. Tim Tebow is coming to Tulsa, Oklahoma. Whoa. During the month of Christmas, December 5th and 6th, 2024. Tim Tebow is coming to Tulsa, Oklahoma in the 2-day interactive Thrivetime Show Business Growth Workshop. Yes, folks, put it in your calendar. This December, the month of Christmas, December 5th and 6th, Tim Tebow is coming to Tulsa, Oklahoma in the Thrivetime Show 2-day interactive business growth workshop. Whoa. We've been doing business conferences here since 2005. I've been hosting business conferences since 2005. What year were you born?
1995.
Dude, I've been hosting business conferences since you were 10 years old. And a lot of people, have followed Tim Tebow's football career on the field and off the field. And off the field, the guy's been just as successful as he has been on the field. Now, the big question is, JT, how does he do it?
Well, they're going to have to come and find out because I don't know.
Well, I'm just saying, Tim Tebow's going to teach us how he organizes his day, how he organizes his life, how he's proactive with his faith, his family, his finances. He's going to walk us through his mindset that he brings into the gym, into business. It is going to be a blasty blast in Tulsa, Jerusalem. Folks, I'm telling you, if you want to learn branding, you want to learn marketing, you want to learn search engine optimization, you want to learn social media marketing, that's what we teach at the Thrivetime Show 2-day interactive workshop. If you want to learn accounting, you want to learn sales systems, you want to learn how to build a linear workflow, you want to learn how to franchise your business, that is what we teach at the 2-day interactive Thrivetime Show business workshop. Over the years, we've had the opportunity to feature Michael Levine, the PR consultant of choice for Nike, for Prince, for Michael Jackson. We've had the top PR consultant in the history of the planet has spoken at the Thrivetime Show workshops. We've had Jill Donovan, the founder of RusticCuff.com, a company that creates apparel worn by celebrities all throughout the world. Jill Donovan, the founder of RusticCuff.com, has spoken at the 2-day interactive Thrivetime Show business workshops. We have had the man who's responsible for turning around Harley Davidson, a man by the name of Ken Schmidt. He has spoken at the Thrivetime Show 2-day interactive business workshops. Folks, I'm telling you, these events are going to teach you what you need to know to start and grow a successful business. And the way we price the events, the way we do these events, is you can pay $250 for a ticket or whatever price that you can afford. What? Yes, we've designed these events to be affordable for you, and we want to see you live and in person at the 2-day interactive December 5th and 6th Thrivetime Show Business Workshop. Everything that you need to succeed will be taught at the 2-day interactive Thrivetime Show Business Workshop, December 5th and 6th in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And the way we do these events is we teach for 30 minutes, and then we open it up for a question and answer session so that wonderful people like you can have your questions answered. Yes, we teach for 30 minutes, and then we open it up for a 15-minute question and answer session. It's interactive. It's 2 days. It's in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We've been doing these events since 2005, and I'm telling you, folks, it's going to blow your mind. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the Thrivetime Show 2-day interactive business workshop is America's highest rated and most reviewed business workshop. See the thousands of video testimonials from real people just like you who've been able to build multi-million-dollar companies. Watch those testimonials today at thrivetimeshow.com. Simply by clicking on the testimonials button right there at thrivetimeshow.com, you're going to see thousands of people just like you who've been able to go from just surviving to thriving. Whoa. Each and every day, we're going to add more and more speakers to this all-star lineup, but I encourage everybody out there today, get those tickets today. Go to thrivetimeshow.com. Again, that's thrivetimeshow.com. And some people might be saying, well, how do I do it? What do I do? How does it work? You just go to thrivetimeshow.com. Let's go there now. We're feeling the flow. We're going to thrivetimeshow.com. Again, you just go to thrivetimeshow.com. You click on the business conferences button, and you click on the request tickets button right there. The way I do our conferences is we tell people it's $250 to get a ticket.
Yep.
Or whatever price that you can afford. And the reason why I do that is I grew up without money. JT, you're in the process of building a super successful company. Did you start out with $1 million in the bank account?
No, I did not. Nope, did not get any loans, nothing like that. Did not get an inheritance from parents or anything like that. I had to work for it, and I'm super grateful. I came to a business conference. That's actually how I met you, met Peter Taunton. I met all these people.
So if you're out there today and you want to come to our workshop, again, you just got to go to thrivetimeshow.com. You might say, well, who's speaking? We already covered that. You might say, where's it going to be? It's going to be in Tulsa, Jerusalem, Oklahoma. And someone says, Tulsa, Jerusalem. I'm really trying to rebrand Tulsa as Tulsa, Jerusalem, sort of like the Jerusalem of America. But if you type in Thrivetime Show and Jinx, you can get a sneak peek or a look at our office facility. This is what it looks like. This is where you're headed. It's going to be a blasty blast. You can look inside, see the facility. We're going to have hundreds of entrepreneurs here. It is going to be packed. Now, for this particular event, folks, the seating is always limited because my facility isn't a limitless convention center. You're coming to my actual home office, and so it's going to be packed. Who? You're going to come. Who? You? I'm talking to you. You can just get your tickets right now at thrivetimeshow.com. And again, you can name your price. We tell people it's $250 or whatever price you can afford. And we do have some select VIP tickets, which gives you an access to meet some of the speakers and those sorts of things. And those tickets are $500. It's a 2-day interactive business workshop, over 20 hours of business training. We're going to give you a copy of my newest book, The Millionaire's Guide to Becoming Sustainably Rich. You're going to leave with a workbook. You're going to leave with everything you need to know to start and grow a super successful company. It's practical, it's actionable, and it's Tebow time right here in Tulsa, Jerusalem. Get those tickets today at thrivetimeshow.com. Again, that's thrivetimeshow.com.
Hello, I'm Michael Levine, and I'm talking to you right now from the center of Hollywood, California, where I have represented over the last 35 years 58 Academy Award winners, 34 Grammy Award winners, 43 New York Times bestsellers. I've represented a lot of major stars, and I've worked with a lot of major companies. And I think I've learned a few things about what makes them work and what makes them not work. Now, why would a man living in Hollywood, California, in the beautiful sunny weather of LA, come to Tulsa? Because last year I did it, and it was damn exciting. Clay Clark has put together an exceptional presentation, really life-changing, and I'm looking forward to seeing you then. I'm Michael Levine. I'll see you in Tulsa.
Thrivetime Show 2-day interactive business workshops are the world's highest rated and most reviewed business workshops because we teach you what you need to know to grow.
You can learn the proven 13-point business systems that Dr. Zellner and I have used over and over to start and grow successful companies. I mean, we get into the specific steps on what you need to do to optimize your website. We're going to teach you how to fix your conversion rate. We're going to teach you how to do a social media marketing campaign that works. How do you raise capital? How do you get a small business loan? We teach you everything you need to know here during a 2-day, 15-hour workshop. It's all here for you. You work every day in your business, but for 2 days you can escape and work on your business and build these proven systems so now you can have a successful company that will produce both the time freedom and the financial freedom that you deserve. You're going to leave energized, motivated, but you're also going to leave empowered. The reason why I've built these workshops is because as an entrepreneur, I always wish that I had this. And because there wasn't anything like this, I would go to these motivational seminars, no money down, real estate, Ponzi scheme, get motivated seminars, and they would never teach me anything. It was like you went there and you paid for the big chocolate Easter bunny, but inside of it, it was a hollow nothingness. And I wanted the knowledge, and they're like, oh, but we'll teach you the knowledge after our next workshop. And the great thing is we have nothing to upsell. At every workshop, we teach you what you need to know. There's no one in the back of the room trying to sell you some next big get-rich-quick, walk-on-hot coals product. It's literally, we teach you the brass tacks, the specific stuff that you need to know to learn how to start and grow a business. And I encourage you to not believe what I'm saying, and I want you to Google the Z66 auto auction. I want you to Google elephant in the room. Look at Robert Zellner and Associates. Look them up and say, are they successful because they're geniuses, or are they successful because they have a proven system? When you do that research, you will discover that the same systems that we use in our own business can be used in your business. Come to Tulsa, book a ticket, and I guarantee you it's going to be the best business workshop ever, and we'll even give you your money back if you don't love it. We've built this facility for you, and we're excited to see you.
And now you may be thinking, what does it actually cost to attend an in-person 2-day interactive Thrivetime Show business workshop? Well, good news. The tickets are $250 or whatever price that you can afford. What? Yes, they're $250 or whatever price you can afford. I grew up without money, and I know what it's like to live without money. So if you're out there today and you want to attend our in-person 2-day interactive business workshop, all you got to do is go to thrivetimeshow.com to request those tickets. And if you can't afford $250, we have scholarship pricing available to make it affordable for you.
I learned at the Academy, Kings Point in New York. Acta non verba. Watch what a person does, not what they say.
Whoa. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Robert Kiyosaki, the Rich Dad Radio Show. Today I'm broadcasting from Phoenix, Arizona, not Scottsdale, Arizona. They're close, but they're completely different worlds. And we have a special guest today. Definition of intelligence is if you agree with me, you're intelligent. And so this gentleman is very intelligent. I've done this show before also, but very seldom do you find somebody who lines up on all counts. And it's a Mr. Clay Clark. He's a friend of a good friend, Eric Trump. But we're also talking about money, bricks, and how screwed up the world can get in a few and a half hour. So Clay Clark is a very intelligent man, and there's so many ways we could take this thing. But I thought, since you and Eric are close, Trump, what were you saying about what Trump can't, what Donald, who's my age, and I can say or cannot say?
First of all, I have to honor you, sir. I want to show you what I did to one of your books here. There's a guy by the name of Jeremy Thorne, who was my boss at the time. I was 19 years old, working at Faith Highway. I had a job at Applebee's, Target, and DirecTV. And he said, have you read this book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad? And I said, no. And my father, may he rest in peace, he didn't know these financial principles. So I started reading all of your books and really devouring your books. And I went from being an employee to self-employed, to the business owner, to the investor. And I owe a lot of that to you. And I just wanted to take a moment to tell you, thank you so much for allowing me to achieve success. And then I'll tell you all about Eric Trump. But I just want to tell you, thank you, sir, for changing my life.
But not only that, Clay, thank you, but you become an influencer. More than anything else, you've evolved into an influencer where your word has more and more power. So that's why I congratulate you on becoming. Because as you know, there's a lot of fake influencers out there too, or bad influencers.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm glad you and I agree so much, and thanks for reading my books.
Yeah.
That's the greatest thrill for me today. Not a thrill, but recognition is when people, young men especially, come up and say, I read your book, changed my life. I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this.
I learned at the academy, Kings Point in New York, acta non verba. Watch what a person does, not what they say. Whoa.